back to the video. In today's video, we have the Raw on Netflix debut results and kind of just what happened. Just a crazy show. We had so many insane things that we kind of didn't know that we thought were going to potentially happen. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. What's your overall thoughts on the night?
Yeah, I feel like overall it was pretty solid. I feel like it was better than your average Raw, but maybe not up to the expectations that we had leading up into it. But yeah, still a great show, and I had a ton of fun watching it.
Yeah. Let's get straight into things where we kicked off the show with Triple H, and he unveils the new ring. A lot more sponsors. This looks like it might be the permanent Raw mat. Hopefully not, because it is a bit much. We have a whole bunch of like ads on there. We had a Fortnite ad dead in the middle. We had Hulk Hogan's new beer or something like that, and just a whole bunch of other things. But yeah, kind of a bit unfortunate because I did just like a nice clean white mat. But I guess it's something that is kind of inevitable, I guess.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of up in arms a little bit about the Prime logo, and then we very quickly got over that. And I think this will kind of be the same. This is a little much, like you said, like it's a lot just going on the mat. But you know, it just kind of is what it is. One of those things that's just gonna happen naturally, especially now that we're on Netflix. You're even more prone to do even more unique sponsors in unique ways. So just kind of part of that.
Yeah. And after Triple H, we had the Brahma Bull, the new leader of, basically the head guy in TKO, basically, and that is The Rock. He comes out to a crazy pop in the Intuit Dome, and yeah, just the reaction was insane. How'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, the pop that The Rock got is always just very cool, and it's just kind of unique to him. There's no one that could kind of just get people to react the way they do as when The Rock comes out. But yeah, he comes out, he basically does this very long speech about Netflix and the heritage of his family, and he's the High Chief. He acknowledged Roman as the tribal chief even before he actually won the Ulafala. And yeah, that was pretty much the whole thing. He kind of just went on and on a little bit, rambled a little much. But yeah, he did all the "you smell what the Rock's cooking." He does all the the Rock things, and yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit disappointing. I think, at least in my eyes, I kind of thought when I heard The Rock was going to be here, I was like, okay, this is what we know it's going to happen at Mania now. And we kind of got the complete opposite, I think. And to kind of not spoil everything with The Rock, but it kind of feels like he might be off the show completely now, at least Mania. Obviously, things can always change. It's WWE, it's The Rock. But yeah, the way it's looking right now, we might not see Rock at Mania.
Yeah, after what I've seen tonight, I am kind of writing him off and out of Mania. We will be doing a early WrestleMania predictions relatively soon, and yeah, in my predictions, I don't think I will have a Rock as a part of mine.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get into the matches now, where we start off the night with tribal combat between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, where Roman Reigns is your new tribal chief, or once again tribal chief. Yeah, pretty solid match. One of my more favorite Roman matches, I'd say, in the past few months or past few years. But that still wasn't, a crazy, insane match.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was a very cool match. We've seen quite a few interferences. We've seen Cody Rhodes get involved. We've seen the Tongas get involved, Jacob Fatu get involved. But I guess most importantly, we've seen Kevin Owens get involved. He hits the stunner. He kind of tries to hurry up Solo to get the pin. It doesn't end up getting the 3 count. Cody comes, gets rid of Kevin Owens. And so, yeah, to me, as I said, I wrote Roman out of my WrestleMania plans before this match, and then during this match I wrote Kevin Owens into those plans, and now in my prediction video, kind of a spoiler, but I'll probably be doing Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. That seems like the direction they're going. It's a really good pivot from The Rock, and also it falls in line with the story currently, so it's not like out of there just big change like we had last year with WrestleMania. But yeah, I think that's the direction I'm leaning towards now.
Yeah, I did like the fact that Kevin Owens, finally attacked Roman Reigns, because At the end of the day, the reason why he is heel is because of Roman Reigns. He's mad at Cody Rhodes because of Roman Reigns. So his root of all evil right now is Roman Reigns, and the fact that he finally got his lick in definitely is going to be interesting to see. Like you said, what will WrestleMania now look like? That Rock might be gone, and that Kevin Owens, is he be able to just slot into there, or there's a lot of obviously possibilities, but yeah, you have to see what happens, I guess. But next up, we had the other GOAT, John Cena. He comes out, and we get his farewell tour, kind of first promo and kind of a hint at what's going to happen down the line.
Yeah, he mentions some of his opponents that people been talking about on Twitter, such as Logan Paul, The Rock, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, all the above. He also mentions that he doesn't think he'll ever win his 17th world title. He mentions that it's been 2,000 plus days since his last win. He mentions that he sees it all online. He said, but set your expectations low because he doesn't think he's going to do it. But he's like, but there is these kind of lottery things where, maybe I could get in there. Like, maybe I could win the Royal Rumble. Maybe I could win the Elimination Chamber. Maybe I could win the Money in the Bank. He didn't mention it, but he could also do a King of the Ring. There's plenty of ways for him to get in. And, yeah, he seems like he's fully on board. He claimed himself in the Royal Rumble. So it's confirmed we will be getting John Cena in the Royal Rumble, potentially in the Elimination Chamber if he does fail. But he did say set your expectations low, but obviously we know Super Cena is going to come through here.
Yeah, he didn't just say he'll be at Royal Rumble, he will win the Royal Rumble, which I'm all there for, man. I want Cena to get the 17th time. He is, he was the WWE guy for so long, still technically is, in a lot of people's eyes probably. But yeah, I think Cena is more than deserving. I think obviously if there was other guys closer, like a Rock or a Stone Cold, if they were closer, they probably would have been the ones to break it. But if it's going to be anybody, Cena is the guy. He was a workhorse for so many years, so I'm all here for it if that is to happen. But yeah, we didn't get any ideas of who the first opponent is, or what is immediately next for Cena. But like we said, we know Royal Rumble's around the corner, and that might be his first appearance, really.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just very excited for that. And we did like a kind of post press conference thing after, and he kind of mentioned that the people that he named, that's not his opponents that he wants to go against specifically. He said he's just coming in to do the job. Whatever they line up for him, that's what he's going to be doing. So he said, yeah, that's more of the fans' perspective of who he wants to go against. But he said whoever the front office books him to do, basically, that's who he's going for, and he's not going to make any requests to wrestle anybody, essentially.
Yeah, sounds about Cena.
Yeah.
But next up, though, we have the Women's World Championship on the line, where Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan finally finished their feud, and Rhea Ripley does come out on top and is your new Women's World Champion. This match, it's probably the best Rhea and Liv match between the two, in this feud. But in saying that, still wasn't that great, unfortunately. But everything everybody wanted was Rhea to win. Rhea wins. So yeah, hopefully this is kind of the end of everything.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the end. They kind of mentioned on commentary a few times that this is the end in a way. As well as after the match, she hits the Riptide on Dom, which kind of, to me, kind of set it in stone. Like, yeah, this is the ending here. And yeah, she got her revenge on Dom. She beat Liv. She got her title back. So yeah, she kind of completed her story as of now. Now we have some kind of teasers we'll get into a little bit later with some other people. But as of right now, her story's finished, and maybe we're looking to a potential Io Sky, or maybe this mystery person we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah, so let's kind of talk about that right now, obviously. We had a backstage segment. We're kind of either in a suite or like a backstage type of area where Adam Pearce is talking to who? Bailey. She comes out, or she's just talking with them, and it looks like we might have a deal on the way for Bailey to get moved to Raw. And then right after that, Chad Gable and America Made, they come in and say, hey, I'm ready to prove that I am not I don't have a weakness towards luchadors, and that I can go against any of them and I can beat them. And then that kind of leaves the idea that next week Penta, his debut in WWE is finally going to happen. More than excited to see what that match is going to in store for us.
Yeah, they fully confirmed that it is Penta, so there's no speculation anymore. They fully put his name on screen and everything. Mm-hmm. But also, one thing we have to mention that we forgot to mention is after the Rhea and Liv Morgan match, she's walking back with the title, and whose music hits? But the Undertaker. The big gong hits, the blackout happens, but it's not just the Undertaker. It's the American Badass Undertaker, and he comes out on his bike. He does the lap around the ring. He goes with Rhea. They do the little hands up and all that. But yeah, really fun moment there. Really cool for Rhea, I'm sure, to kind of just have that moment with the Undertaker after a big win on the Netflix debut in front of the whole world, essentially. But yeah, really cool for Rhea. I didn't want to skip over that. I wanted to make sure we touched on that one.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, a lot of great pictures are going to come from that. They have a nice, cool picture with them looking over the shoulder and they have the hands up. So definitely Rhea gets that nod of approval from the Taker. But yeah, going back to the Penta, he should be debuting next week. Potential Bayley. Do you think Bayley gets worked into this Women's World Championship now?
Yeah, I think that would be somewhat of a dream match for me, for Rhea and Bayley to have a big Mania match with each other. I don't know how you get there, considering they're both basically super baby faces right now. Obviously, I think Bayley did work out better as a heel the last time we seen her with the damage control and whatnot. Yeah. So maybe you could just kind of lean her back into there. But also, Rhea is a person who you could instantly fall back heel as well, especially once Liv and this Dom thing's officially settled, and maybe you move them to SmackDown to kind of just end that whole thing, or maybe you move Rhea to SmackDown, do a title swap whenever you do this, transfer portal thing, or maybe the draft. You could do that swap. But yeah, once this is officially over, I would like to see Rhea and Bayley go at it for sure.
And while we're here, although we did get the return of Undertaker, we didn't get the return of Becky Lynch or Charlotte. I know, at least us, we kind of had the idea that they would show up on this match, but we didn't get them. Do we think they're going to wait till maybe next week or the week after, or do we think that we're going to see them at a Royal Rumble?
Yeah, this week was just a little full. I think we had a 3-hour plus Raw with only 60 minutes of wrestling on the night. So yeah, that just goes to show how much just backstage segments we had. The long Triple H segment, the long Rock segment, the Cena segment. So this was kind of just a jam-packed card, and obviously it made sense for something like this to happen first time live streaming the just wrestling in general, basically. So yeah, just very, very unique situation, and I don't think this will be the same moving forward. I believe we'll have more wrestling on the card. I believe we'll have more matches in general, and obviously less segments than we had tonight. But yeah, I mean, it was just fun in general.
Yeah, and then next up, we had Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre go one-on-one. But before Jey Uso comes out, who comes out? None other than probably the guy who's going to be your WrestleMania theme song on WrestleMania 41, Travis Scott. But who does he have in his hand? None other than a trustworthy joint that he is smoking blatantly, which is really interesting. But yeah, Travis Scott, Jey Uso, a duo that I didn't know I needed, but now I know I need more. But yeah, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre. Jey Uso does get the win. What was your thoughts on everything in this little segment?
Yeah, obviously the Travis Scott just smoking live on TV. Well, I guess it's not live on TV anymore. It's live on Netflix. But yeah, just live on streaming, whatever. It was a pretty funny moment, and it makes like perfect sense for him to come out with Jey Uso too. Just a very hyped entrance. He's eating with the crowd and all that. But yeah, as far as the match, it's kind of exactly what I expected it to happen. I expected it to. I mentioned it before we started watching the show, that I expected it to be kind of 10 minutes, and I expected Drew to kind of squash Jey, which is somewhat happened. Drew squashed him, but he lost in the end. So it's kind of weird for that to happen, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of a nothing match to me. You want Drew to kind of check Jey off his list, and he didn't do that tonight, so we will be revisiting this at some point, or maybe a backstage segment we beats him down. Who knows, but Drew will get his final revenge on Jey Uso at some point.
Yeah, I can imagine, since these two guys are probably, at least in kayfabe, two front runners in the Royal Rumble. I think this is going to be way to right them out of the Rumble, so, they have like a logical reason why they didn't win that year's Royal Rumble. But yeah, this match, for me, I kind of hoped a little bit, I had higher hopes for this match, but unfortunately didn't reach that. But yeah, don't know really what's next for Drew and Jay. Whether, like I said, if it is going to be a Royal Rumble or they have a match next week or the week after. But yeah, hopefully we can get another Drew and Jay match to kind of make up for this one.
Yeah, like I said, I just kind of want this part of it to be over because the big part is we kind of want him to get to Drew. There's potential with him in some sort of team or faction with the Kevin Owens. We also seen him interact with Seth, so there's potential for him to kind of have something to do with him. But yeah, there's a lot going on with Drew, and I think I just kind of want Jay to get out the way so he can move on to some of the bigger matches that I want to see.
Yeah, and other big news, I don't know if it was around this time, but we did get the announcement that 2K25 will be getting announced on January 28th, I believe, is the day, and Roman Reigns will more than likely be your cover star for the copy, so for all the wrestling fan gamers, yeah, that should be your cover for 2K25.
Not only that, but we also got the announcement that The Rock is going to be on NXT New Year's Evil tomorrow, which is something I didn't have on my card to happen on New Year's Evil. But yeah, something to look forward to. If you don't watch NXT, maybe this gives you a reason to start watching. But yeah, if this doesn't give you a reason to watch, I don't know what's going to get you to watch. But there's going to be some amazing matches on there, like Roxy and Julia and whatnot. But yeah, so this will make it even more interesting and more eyes on the product, and it's on the CW, which is insane for them to kind of get something like that. But yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, hopefully both of me squashes Rock in a few seconds. But yeah, after that, the Jey Uso Drew McIntyre match, we got the unfortunate arrival of Hulk Hogan, who at first got like a mini pop, but then once he actually showed face, the crowd turned on him and booed him. This was kind of honestly a useless segment that it had Hulk Hogan, an icon in the wrestling industry, and obviously, as much as I may have different opinions about him, but he showed face, and yeah, it was pretty funny to see the entire crowd just boo him out the building.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad look. I feel like for WWE, for Hogan, for his beer company, it's a kind of bad look for everybody when you come out and get booed when you're this kind of like an icon of the sport in a way. I kind of had this I never saw Hogan come out live for a very, very long time. So I kind of had this I don't know, because I obviously had a lot of cool Hogan pops from back in the day and all that. And so this was my first one I've seen in a while. So, and I kind of had that feeling that I would kind of react to it, like have like a little pop for it, maybe be a little excited for it, as well as the crowd. But it didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for the crowd. Definitely didn't do it for the crowd. But yeah, definitely I think this should probably be one of Hogan's last times on TV, because it definitely didn't go good for anyone involved.
Yeah, it definitely was a segment that will probably get remembered for the wrong reasons, and Hogan would try to get this erased from his PR stint. But what the main thing I think a lot of people are looking forward to, probably the thing I was looking more forward to, is CM Punk, Seth Rollins. They finally lock in the ring with each other, and was a pretty solid match. Maybe didn't live up to the exact expectations that we all wanted, but still a really good match. And CM Punk does get the win. How'd you feel though?
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't some 5-star classic or anything, but obviously they're going to save that for later at some bigger event, potentially a Mania, potentially a Royal Rumble, or Elimination Chamber, or wherever it may fall at. But we all know that this isn't going to be the end of Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So yeah, I think it'll be great whenever we do see the ending, but this as just a starter match, I feel like it did everything you wanted to do. It showed a lot of them just hitting each other very hard. We've seen a stomp from CM Punk. We've seen a GTS from Seth Rollins.
Multiple GTSs.
Yeah, we've seen him like 6 GTSs this match.
Pedigree on the table.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good moments in this match. A lot of ups and downs in this one. A little slow pace maybe. They kind of, like I said, they kind of took it a little slow on this one and kind of set in the more hard-hitting moves, the kind of quick finish type of moves they were going for in a way. But I think we'll get a more kind of slow, more technician type of match in the future from them.
Yeah, it was also pretty cool that CM Punk came out in his Ring of Honor XXX jacket, which is really cool. That's like either a good luck charm or a really bad luck charm. Either he gets fired the next day, or he has an amazing match with one of his biggest rivals. But yeah, really cool for Punk to get this win. After the match and kind of on the Raw post show, he is getting interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and she says, what is next for you? And he says Royal Rumble. So now we have 2 official or people in the Rumble with CM Punk and John Cena. And yeah, should be pretty cool. But he also said that when he wins that Royal Rumble, he's coming for Gunther, he's coming for Cody. So at least we have some seeds planted.
Yeah, so yeah, he's going to be another big Royal Rumble pick for a lot of people, I'm sure, as well as John Cena entering tonight. We've seen also a Logan Paul vignette earlier in the night, I guess I should mention, saying that he's locked in and he's going to be, he didn't say full-time, but he kind of alluded to him being full-time on Netflix. It was almost like a babyface promo in a way. It didn't seem very Logan Paul like his previous character. Maybe it's just a character development, something adding to it. He's adding to his character, but it didn't seem the same type of promo as the old Logan Paul would have made a while back.
No. Yeah, I think Logan, I don't know really where he fits in right now. I know there's kind of rumors of him going against John Cena maybe at Mania, but as of right now, obviously we have no idea because he hasn't been around in a little while. Yeah, it should be interesting to see where he does fall in, this huge scramble of who is going to go against who at this insane Mania where there's so many top stars that need to be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to put Logan Paul against, all the top names and whatnot, and I think really cool match that could be someone to help him look very good in the match could be Gunther. I think that could be a very good and bad match for Logan Paul because it's going to be make him look good, but he's going to get the shit beat out of him, I could only imagine. And that's going to get some massive pops when he does the chops to Logan Paul. The crowd's going to react crazy to that. I think that is a big match, as well as maybe a Braun Breaker. That's more so big for Braun Breaker, obviously, to get him some eyes on him, some recognition, whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of cool matches you could do with him. There's speculation of him fighting Cena at WrestleMania. There's a lot of speculation regarding him. But yeah, this has been an amazing Raw. We're going to do something new with a lot of these shows that we review and do these for. And we're going to do a rating for the end. We're not going to rate the matches individually, but we're going to give it a rating at the end. We talked a little bit beforehand, and the rating that we came up with was 3.5. Obviously in a 5.0, that's going to be perfect. Every match is good. All the segments were great. And this definitely wasn't that, but it was definitely above average, and it was a good show.
Yeah, I think the matches definitely underperformed, and that's kind of where it probably gets the biggest knocks. But it just felt like this was more of an ender show and not like a see what's happening next week on the show, even though we did get a few cool matches. But it's not like involving these big name players that we kind of maybe wanted. But yeah, I think some things could have been left on the show. We could have used like maybe a more work rate type of match. I would have loved to seen Gable and Penta on this stage because I think it could have used another match. But yeah, I think it definitely could have been better, but I can't complain at all because of what we did get.
Yeah, it was a great show. Like I said, it's kind of a one-of-a-kind thing. We only had 4 matches. There's only an hour of wrestling on a 3-hour-plus show. And I don't think that'll be what we'll be getting moving forward. There was just a ton of segments. The Rock took a while. Triple H took a while. Cena took a while. There was all the commercials that we're still having and whatnot. But yeah, I guess that's something we could bring up too. The commercials weren't too intrusive, I feel like, on Netflix. I feel like it was just as good or bad, depending on how you look at it, as what regular TV would have been.
Yeah, we're obviously watching here in America on Netflix, so obviously if you're international, you got the privilege of having no ads, which is really cool. But yeah, I think ads weren't too bad. It was a little bit annoying kind of being on Twitter at the same time and seeing, they just had this funny moment because we missed the New Day talking crap about Kendrick Lamar in LA, which is kind of cool. We also had a segment where Damian Priest announced his match next week with Finn Balor in a street fight, which will get announced later. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Another thing to mention as well is that the actual stream itself wasn't lagging or anything like that, like the Logan or the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, which was nice. We had like one slight buffer, but wasn't even that bad. But yeah, so first show, can't really complain too much, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, we're giving it a 3.5, so it's very much above average, but not quite a 5-star classic or anything like that. Yeah, we had a very fun time watching this, and I can't wait for next week because we have Penta, Chad Gable, we have Damian Priest versus Finn in a street fight, we have the finals to the Women's IC Championship match, potential Charlotte and Becky. I'm going to keep saying that until they actually do come. And then yeah, also tomorrow we have New Year's Evil with The Rock coming. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff to look forward to. January is kicking off with an insane month with a lot of great matches already happening. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts were on this Raw on Netflix debut. And yeah, we will catch you guys in the next video.